Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto, and here's the longer video for today. DCG, as you know, owns Gemini, or at least for right now, they own Gemini. What they're doing is they're selling their trading and lending arms to a group of major creditors. They owe that group of major creditors about $2.4 billion. One of those creditors, part of that group, is actually Gemini. Gemini is going to poke up about $100 million into that deal. They have a deal verbally right now, in essence. Now the deal has to be finalized, so to be expected. But as a part of all of this mishigash that's going on, DCG also sold about $22 million in Grayscale shares. Now I'm thinking that is more of a liquidity thing. They just needed some cash on hand, rebalancing of their stock holdings, all that good stuff, whatever. But I do make note of DCG probably still owing some people some money, or some creditors some money. And this is only going to take care of the Gemini problems. I don't think it takes care of the DCG problems. So there are issues at hand that still need to be worked out, but at least it seems like they are doing exactly that. Now, the biggest news that I saw that kind of hit me was Binance. Binance has got to stop, not Binance US, but Binance, the parent company, has got to stop US dollar transfers as of the 8th, meaning I think that's tomorrow. So why do they have to do that? Well, we've been seeing this coming, right? We've seen a lot of banks that have crypto exposure actually have to decrease that crypto exposure. I just reported about this a little while ago. I don't have the date in front of me right now, but I think it was like a week or two ago, that there was a bank that they're doing business with that said, hey, look, listen, we're still willing to work with you, but we're only going to do $100 million transfers and above. Yeah, to me that sounded like, yeah, we kind of don't want to do this anymore. That's definitely limiting the exposure right there. Sorry about that, I have something in my eye. But I sit there and I look at that and I go, there's nothing wrong with Binance though. Binance is actually fine. It's that their banking partners, where they make the transfers to US dollar, are saying, yeah, no, we don't want to do this anymore. I think that's a bad decision for those banks. But those banks have big exposure and they're not necessarily big enough to carry the risk. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, but there are other banks out there that are deeply involved in crypto, and they're going to cut a deal with Binance and keep it moving. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting, US dollar transfers to happen, to be reinstated, fairly soon. Again, they need to go identify some banks, cut some deals, done. There's a lot of FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt. Don't let that get to you. Binance is the world's largest centralized exchange. Okay? They're not going anywhere. They're really not. And people that are spreading that kind of FUD, they're only doing it to serve their own purpose, right? Make Binance take a dip, so they can buy in, and then that's a cheesy way to make money. Anyway, something that I've really been paying attention to is there are other countries around the world that are more, I'd say, adaptive to crypto than the United States and other countries. There are a lot of, countries out there that are saying, oh, crypto's bad, or, oh, we need to come down on crypto, blah, 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 blah. You know what South Korea is doing? They're defining what a security token is. They've defined what a non-security token is, most importantly, right? And they've exempted stablecoins from their new regulations that they're putting out, been published by their Financial Services Commission. That is a big deal. That's saying, listen, we know what security tokens are, mostly centralized offerings. We know what non-security tokens are, tokens that meet a decentralized or decentralization threshold. Now, I don't know if that regulation sets what that threshold is, but they've defined it. They've defined it, meaning it's not done by a single issuer, right? Most likely has to be minted. Not affecting stable coins. Huh, really now? Those are major steps. Major, major steps. And what that's going to do is bring crypto into the mainstream of South Korea. As if it's not already in the mainstream, it kind of is, but legally it'll bring it into the mainstream. Watch the economy take off. I'm not even playing. I'm not even playing. Watch that economy take the hell off. If the United States did that, same thing. Same thing. But why won't they? Well, you got some entities on Wall Street that are saying, hey, wait, we're not ready yet. We'll tell you when we're ready, and that's when, you can do that. You're watching it play out with cannabis. Just saying. So when I look at that, I just kind of sit back and go, wow, that's freaking awesome. That's almost ridiculously awesome. They have set the tone and said it can be done. It can be done with good thought. And we're looking at this as something that we want to bring into the mainstream because it's going to help the economy. And it's also going to thwart, because there's regulation, it's going to thwart a lot of crime. So I'm sitting back and I'm just going, just pay attention to the example. Just, can you see that? That's what I'm saying. That's the way to do it. Now, that doesn't mean that the regulation that they released is perfect, but it does mean that they've given it pragmatic thought. That's what you're looking for. Give some pragmatic thought to how you would regulate crypto and then make it a thing. Not, take your time, drag your ass, prosecute people that don't need to be prosecuted, right? Prosecution is not a good way to go. You prosecute Kim Kardashian and other stars for promoting. But where are all the people that saw jail time from, Shearson Lehman, Bear Stearns? Nothing, none of that. So I sit back and I just go, we need to get this fixed. We need to get it fixed quickly. We really do. Because I'm thinking South Korea's, economy is just going to boom. And I think that we could use that here. Now, on a side note, AMC Theaters, what the hell is on your mind? As I was, taking my notes and writing articles and stuff, I look up and here's the news breaking on MSNBC talking about how AMC Theaters, the same goddamn theaters that they have now, no real true upgrades, are going to charge you different pricing for where you're seated in the theater. So obviously that front row is going to be the cheapest, and the middle rows are going to be the most expensive, and the back rows will be more expensive than the front rows, but less expensive than the middle row. Are you serious? I freaking don't want to go to the movies right now anyway. Why? Because cooties. I don't want your damn cooties. I'd rather sit at home where it's nice and safe and hygienically clean, right? And watch on my big screen or use my projector to put it on my wall and get that theater feeling. I think this is a bad move. You've already chased people away. Yeah, you might be seeing some people go back to the theaters, but they're not going back to the theaters the way they used to. They're not. These massive televisions that they're selling now that are cheap, got them on their walls. And if you're thinking that there's a recession coming, I'm not going to the movies. I'm going to wait for that shit to come on streaming, and I'll be right there in my living room with a big screen just sitting there going like this with my popcorn and everything else that I got out of my kitchen. Just saying. Bad pet trick. I'd rather go to the metaverse. That's right. You heard me say it right here. I'd rather go and watch the movie in the metaverse sitting next to my virtual friends. That would probably be a lot more fun. Anyway, let's get to the numbers. Because the numbers are fairly interesting. And I'll show you why. So if you look right here, you have this one. Now, I know nothing about this artificial liquid intelligence, but they're up 45% in 24 hours. I know nothing about them. But I want you to pay attention to something else. They're not all that small. It's not like they're a micro cap, right? Their market cap is 273 million. 273 million. Nothing to shake a stick at. Now, I don't normally get involved in things that are, below $1 billion, but I have my long shots. I have my, my group of long shots that I play with because I do my research and I get in. Now, is this one interesting enough for me to look at? Not really. But I might do a little bit of research and get into that and see what they're all about. Just so I know. Singularity.net, told you yesterday they were up, and today they're up again, 26%. They're still 43% off their all-time high. Artificial liquid intelligence is off by 62% off their all-time high. You should be paying attention to those numbers. You really should be. Now, who's on the bad side? I didn't look at that too quick. There you go. There's nothing happening over there. So I'm paying attention to those kinds of things. Who else is on this list that I would want to pay attention to? Nobody. I don't know who Mina is. Oh, no, Render. Render's up 11%. Told you about Render, yesterday? Day before? So Render's up, that much. A Star, because of the Toyota deal, is up 16%. Pay attention. There are things going on. There are things afoot, as they say. There are things afoot. So I look at all those things and I say to myself, there's some good opportunity. The Fear and Greed Index is down to 54. It was in the 60s, and now we're back down into neutral territory. DeFi Llama, we were at 64 billion. Now we're up 1 billion to 65. A little bit more than 1 billion. But, like I said before, Bitcoin is having a problem maintaining above my 23,417. You can see how, did it a little bit, but came right back down. Now we're moving sideways again. And I think that's where we're going to be for a little while. If you want to take a look at the big picture, come on, let's go. Oh, I hate that. I hate both those things. Now you can actually see Bitcoin is back above 23,000. Ethereum is, healthily in 1600 range. BNB is actually up a little bit. I told you about Binance. So all my coins that I'm interested in, like VeChain, still doing well. Matic at $1.22, still doing well. Not mad at that. These coins are up and establishing new lows up here, and then we'll see where they go from there. Now they could go up, they could go down. I'm not expecting them to go down that much right now, though. Could it happen that we actually do hit a recession? It's highly possible that we could hit a recession, a real recession, an actual recession. Don't know yet. We'll see. We shall see. But a lot of those tech people that have been laid off have found other jobs. Or rethinking what they want to do. So that's going to be interesting to watch play out. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto. I hope you have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions. Somebody did ask me, Red Cardinal had asked me if I would do a little bit more research on Shiba and Shibarium. I will, but I feel like I've been talking about it for a while now. But I'll probably get into it later this week or something else like that. Anyway, hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.